Well, hello, good evening. Welcome again. Just trying to get everything filed away, sorted away, so on and so forth. Um, well, lots of things been turning into gears lately. I thought I'd share some stuff with y'all. First off, thank you for chiming in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for clicking by. If you find this content useful, please consider hitting the subscribe, a like, comments. They're all really greatly appreciated. If you have any questions or comments, please throw them in this chat, and I will do my best to get to them right away. I'd like to start off by thanking some supporters of this channel now to help enable and make this easier and get better productions. So Vin Hiker, Trail Guides, Leslie, Overland Family Man, thank you for your support. I greatly appreciate it. As I've mentioned before, we've now started a Patreon account, and the support means a lot. We've kind of peaked out on what we can afford for inexpensive gear. So we need to kind of up the ante. Also, we want to really kick our videos up a notch or two, and the shadow from that light is terrible. I thought it might balance things out a bit more, but it's kind of distracting to myself. So anyway, we started a Patreon to get that going. Pete, if you're watching, I was unable to find your file on Google Drive, so I won't be able to play it this evening. That was a really cool video. Hopefully we can show it in the next one. Make sure we've got this open. Okay. Really excited to announce that the pin list that I have, I've done a bunch of updates. I've spent over 6 hours this week checking my flight log on the drone for GPS locations that I've been flying. Oh, that's obnoxious. Searching through footage, searching through maps, everywhere I could to find every single pin I could, and I have been entering them in. Not only that, the pins now are color coded and have symbols. I've verified these pins work with I've verified they work with Avenza. They work with Google My Places very, very well. Google Earth they import, but you get the locations, you get the descriptions. There are descriptions for every location. But they show up as X. The symbols don't cross-reference with Google Earth. But at any rate, that stuff's available on Patreon if you want to see that everywhere I go. Have been from rock outcroppings for selfies or dronies, dispersed campsites. I've even put in the local CAL FIRE locations, fire departments, emergency rooms. So if you are out in the woods and with no cell coverage, you can look on your map and find the nearest emergency room, and you'll know which way to head without having to have coverage, because that kind of stuff is, it's like a spare tire or Band-Aid. You hope you never need them, but when you do need them, it's good to have. Yeah, Overland Trail Guides, welcome. Thank you again. Stoked for the Demander, how's it going? It's great to see y'all. I love the comments. They really mean a lot, because when I'm out in the woods and I run into y'all, it's really flattering, and it shows me that there are people watching. My subscriber count isn't all that high. That's okay. Comments kind of low, likes kind of low, but I don't care. I'm just going to keep pushing through and keep pushing out content, because obviously people are watching. Evening, how's it going? Ben here. Thank you all for chiming in. So without further ado, again, this is so far we're sponsored by Vin Hiker, Trail Guides, Leslie, Overland Family Man. So again, thank you for your support. It means a lot. Looking forward to a lot of stuff coming up. So one of the things I wanted to mention was that dispersed camping, we talk about this all the time on this channel. Right now, I feel like it's a really prudent time, a great time to be doing it, because of the social distancing we're supposed to be doing. Not only are you getting more privacy while you're out dispersed camping, but you're also, from my tiny bit of research, being outdoors, you're less likely to catch it from, I guess, the wind or something. You're outdoors when you're dispersed camping. When you're dispersed camping, you don't have a whole crowd of people like you would at a campground, like a KOA or something. So to me, a much more healthy and safe environment, dispersed camping. Go out there. There are plenty of places out there that you can, if you're using your RV, your travel trailer, a cab over, there are places you can get into. There's a lot of places, as a matter of fact. I can give you a number of places right off the top of my head if you needed them. Get out there and try something different. Maybe if your campgrounds are your thing because of, you need the vault toilet and the running water, I get it. I understand. Dispersed camping is not for everybody. but at least give it a try. Maybe break out. If you haven't done it yet, at least give it a try. It's really, I love it. Board Tree is technically a campground, but the last 2 times I've stayed there, there's been one other person staying there. The first time was 2 nights on the other end of the campground, and then the second time was right next to us, but they stayed for 1 night. Big deal. So I just wanted to say that I feel like it's really important now that we're out enjoying the woods and using the woods to recharge our batteries. So a little tidbit, if you will, real quick. I've been looking at, after the live stream about radios, I've been trying to pay a whole lot of attention to what people are using, where they're using it, how they're using it, so on and so forth. One thing I've seen a lot lately is people putting their booster antennas on top of their car, which is great. But then they have a roof rack, and then they have their shovel, their high lift, their rim for their spare tire, or any other metal stuff surrounding part of that antenna. Some of these antennas are not that long. Some of them are shorter than the width of an all-terrain tire. Some of them. With that said, if you surround them with a metal rim, metal shovels, and metal high lift, you've created somewhat of a Faraday cage. So you're not going to be able to reach out and touch quite as well. Remember we talked about line of sight? So these radios work on line of sight. If you get rocks or buildings, trees in the way, the signal will not penetrate. It will just hit that source, and I don't know what it does, absorb or bounce. But it won't get to your destination, which is the person on the other end of the radio. So mount it up higher. If you have a metal rim on top of your car, stick the magnet on the metal rim. If you've got a high lift and that's your highest point, stick it on the high lift. If you need to have your antenna up on top and all your gear up top, find a compromise. Because again, line of sight. If your antenna is down below all that metal, signal's not going to get out and reach your other person. Like Jeff was saying, even a couple of watts will go a long way. Doesn't matter, like he was saying, if your antenna is not working or tuned properly. And being stuck behind a Faraday cage, definitely not tuned. Another thing I wanted to mention real quick, when I got to Board Tree last time, there was a bunch of trash. I think a garbage bag full of trash. It was pretty sad. I wanted to remind everybody that we are the stewards. We are the housekeepers of the Mendocino National Forest and all the other forests, or most of them. So if you see some trash, pick it up. If you see a lot of trash, pick it up. I'm sorry to have to ask you that, but it is the truth. We don't want it to become this big giant mess that no one wants to visit anymore. Look at, like, here's an example, the shooting range at Lake Pillsbury, the shooting range at Cow Mountain. They're there for a reason, and I'm not objecting to them. I've gone there and shot stuff myself. There's a place for everything. We need to have a place for all that stuff. But please, let's not have it be some of these campgrounds that like I've mentioned before, Board Tree, they've been working very hard to clean that one up. I know one prevention officer who spent a ton of time up there. I've seen the California Conservation Crew up there twice. I've heard rumor about them up there an additional time. It's looking fantastic up there. Definitely a cool place to check out. So remember, we're the stewards. If something gets left behind, there isn't housekeeping that comes around Monday or Tuesday and picks up all the little bits and pieces that, whatever, the next guy will get it. With that said, I'm also hearing rumor of a lot of people leaving trash, like paper towels and paper cups in the fire rings. At, like, an example, this is not the example that was given to me, I'll make it perfectly clear. Plesket Meadows. You're allowed to have fires this time of year. Board Tree, you're allowed to have fires there this time of year. We've covered the way to find out where you are allowed to have fires with a fire permit. There are ways to do that, but don't leave it for the next guy's kindling. That's not cool. Burn it yourself or take it out with you. Leave the campsite as you found it, without trash laying in it, because it looks terrible. Plus, when we went to Board Tree last time, somebody didn't bury their number 2 deep enough. An animal got hold of toilet paper and it was all over camp. I found it to be rather disgusting. Roast you? What do you mean? So that's quite the name. AJ243 Silky 12. No, thanks for joining. Let's see here. I got a whole bunch of notes, but they weren't exactly organized. I was working till the last minute, but most of the day. I had gotten a comment from a viewer that I go to Plesket Meadows quite a bit. I understand. Yeah, I go there quite a bit. It's generally, since lately we've been kind of going off of the FH7, all these different directions. It's a good point where I can go to and go fishing, and I can get away. Even on a Saturday, I haven't been there in deer season, so I don't know. but I can find a spot to go fish. It's a stocked pond, so I always do very well. So yeah, I do tend to return there. I also love the taste of fresh trout. It's delicious, absolutely divine. Um, let's see here. So another thing I wanted to mention, target shooting. Be careful. I almost learned my lesson the hard way. I didn't know it, but we had walked what we thought we had thoroughly walked behind our targets to know what was beyond our stuff, which we knew was a hill, but there was a little bit of a few trees and some grass. We wanted to make sure it was clear. Went walking through there, found nothing. After half a day of shooting, next thing we know, there's a grass fire. Fortunately, we had fire extinguishers and coolers full of ice and water. We were able to extinguish it without it burning even 100 square feet of grass. Scared the living stuff out of all of us, but it taught us all a lesson. So if you want to come shooting with me, I require that you carry at least a 5 or a 10-pound fire extinguisher per shooter, because people don't know it. But and I didn't know it either until then. I never thought lead could spark. I didn't think it was possible. It's too soft. Lead does spark. If you look it up on YouTube, sure enough, you'll see slow motion videos of lead sparking. So be very careful with that. There's also tannerite. Note that if the Forest Service hears it, they will come looking. Also, I've heard I don't want to say misconception because I'm not a scientist, but I've heard some people say that it sucks all the oxygen out of the area so it can't start a fire. Well, in the slow motion videos I've seen, it sure looks like a flaming ball to me. And regardless of it sucks all the oxygen out from the area of the explosion, it's still sending pieces flying that are going through that flame. Those little pieces might be burning. So they're going to come after you for creating an explosive device and all kinds of nasty stuff if they want to. So I'm not saying I'm for or against tannerite, but just be careful. Know what you're shooting at and beyond. Again, fire extinguishers are not that expensive, and also like a spare tire, good to carry in the back of the truck. You never know how that could be helpful. I do one more thing here before I get. Bear with me. Feel free to throw some smoked trout. Yeah, exactly. So, Darren, I believe I gave you one of those trout. My refrigerator, or our refrigerator, had gone out. And in an effort to make sure we had some food, I went to Plesket Meadows and got some fish, and then came back and slowly cooked them and roasted them over a fire, which we'll be doing a video about here very, very soon. And Darren, I believe I gave you some of that. It was really tasty. Oh, that was the salmon I gave you. We smoked the salmon. So the last thing before we switch topics, because there's a lot going on, was I wanted to remind you all, don't overcomplicate dispersed camping. Don't think of it as, oh my God, there's how do people know where, am I allowed to stay here? Am I allowed to stay there? Am I allowed to have this or that? Or where do I get this permit? Or what permits do I need? Don't worry about it. Call the Forest Service and ask them. They'll help you get started. Follow these live streams. Hit the subscribe button. You'll get a bunch of videos that you'll be able to find locations. In the videos where I do, like if I'm out driving and I find a spot, as an example, I take the coordinates down and then I do a little vlog about it and I throw it up on YouTube. In the description is the link to how to get there. So let's uncomplicate these things. And overland trail guides, that's if I was at the right channel earlier, it looked like you only had one video. If you're watching, would you maybe drop me a link to your channel so I could check it out? I read your Patreon and would like to see a little bit more. Let's see here. So just moving on to the next segment, but I got trying to coordinate two people. Let's see here. You close already? Promise this will just be a second. Just bear with me. Let's see here. One more. Things are lagging. Send. Yeah, the salmon. I shared it with my mom. She basically said it was smoke recipe sucked in combination of yours. You get yours in writing sometime. It was brown sugar, kosher salt, and black pepper, and an abundance of brown sugar. Wiped everywhere but the skin side, and let it dry for 24 hours in the fridge, and then smoked at 300 degrees, I think it was, for 45 minutes. Some of it we kind of undercooked, so we can cook it a little more later, but yeah. So I have somebody else coming on here in just a moment, and I'm not getting a response, so forgive me as I feel like I'm like that guy who's narrating a baseball game who is like stumbling as to what to say. Well, just I had this whole strategy, a whole like plan and everything, but it's just not working.
Hi.
Yeah, ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So without further ado, I wanted to bring on my wife tonight because we have formed a partnership here. And I don't just mean in life. She's apparently going to come on here in just a moment. She's going to help me grow this channel. So basically, I'm going to work with her because I feel like her storylines are a little better. In fact, as soon as she comes on, we're going to show you one of her edits that she's been working on for a while. We released, I'll also be showing you our first outtake, or not outtake, behind the scenes, which is fabulous. Her work there is fantastic. So I'm hoping to show you that here in the technical difficulties. So we got a batter on second. What would, I'll have to.
Already. Google Link is failing.
Oh. I'll resend you a link. Hold on. So we go like this. You go see. And I know what I can show you in the meantime. Let's go over here and resend it. Resend this link. Again, feel free to throw questions in the chat. Let's let you if you guys have questions, let me help you out, whether it's finding a place, getting to a place. Help me here. No, just kidding. Reply. So at any rate, so I was talking about my pins earlier. Let me show you a little example of what I'm talking about. So we go share the screen here. Let's see here. Oh yeah, so I was just cruising around on the map. Let's start here. Cruising around, looking around, and where are they going? Now, of course, I'm not gonna be able to find them. Nothing, best laid plans, right? Oh, here they are. Where is it? There it is. I was cruising around. Somebody's like not only growing, but look at that. So out of curiosity, I hit this little map, which is Forest Service land and then private property. They're growing over on Forest Service land. And they even have a big greenhouse. Where'd it go? I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen this stuff too, but just something to be aware of. Oh, okay, she's ready. So remove. Okay. Hi, you there?
I am. I'm still getting to the pin, but I'm here.
Okay. Well, you're on. You can say hi, everybody. This is my wife, Paprika.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to get this set up in just a moment and stay still.
Okay. So I was going to show the pins real quick. While you do that, we'll do that and then click stop screen sharing. Share screen. Here or here. I was going to show you the pins outside Google Earth to make it easier. See, lots of pins. I think we're at 103, 4, 5, 6, 107 pins. So as you can see, there's quite a few. And I tried to add in detail to each one. So you got a description over here, a link to a YouTube video, and then you can click these and get directions straight from here. I even added the shooting range at Lake Pillsbury. Like I said, I added some CAL FIRE stations, ranger stations, emergency rooms. They're all now here. If I've stayed there and liked it and it still exists, I put a pin there. This one here, I wasn't quite sure how to label. This is in Nice. It's the entrance to Bartlett Springs Road to get as an alternative into Indian Valley Reservoir. You come in through Nice, follow Bartlett Springs Road, which I also have as a stop and take pictures, because if you do some research on Bartlett Springs, it does have a lot of history to it. It was a resort that burned down. It was rebuilt into a bottling plant, and then it burned down again. So there's some history there. But anyway, you can use that as an alternate route. So I talked about the pins. You can find all of those available on Patreon. With that said, you all set up?
Yeah.
Sharing. All right. So, not really sure how to introduce you other than I love you and thank you for your help. Maybe we should start by sharing one of the videos that you are working on. Let's see if we can make that work. Oh. But it undid the file name. What was the file name again?
Slow times trailer 1.
Oh yeah, there it is. You guys will have to tell me about the audio because I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. There, is that coming up?
I can hear it.
Can you see it?
I cannot see it.
Oh.
I see nothing but you and
You gotta
I.
get that StreamYard OSB to work. Screen share.
Yeah, we'll get better at it. We just got it. It's new. Hi, dog.
How about this time?
Oh, yeah, there we go. I can see it now.
Can you hear it?
I can. This is my first time seeing this side.
Well, no, this is what's up.
Looks like we may have bitten off more than we can chew.
What regard? What happened?
What was easy coming down is not so easy getting back up. Steep angle, slippery dirt, not enough horsepower.
They're down in there somewhere. Last count, they're on around 3,000 feet away. Right on the edge of where we can see it.
Man of the hour.
Oh, did I lose the sound there at the end of it?
Mm-hmm.
Sure sounds like it.
It's okay. For a last minute thing that we rendered a few minutes before we came on. This is still a work in progress, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't launched it on anything yet. So this is kind of a teaser. All right, let me get rid of the screen sharing. Stop screen sharing. So again, I brought you on because I wanted to introduce you to everybody else because now you're. Oh, we've got some. Daniel's here. Hi, Daniel, Overland Family Man. Shout out to you as one of our patrons. Thank you. Actually, our first patron, to be honest. Thank you.
Cheers.
In the living room. Oh, Peter, you are watching, huh? Cool. So what you just saw is a lot more dynamic everything than what I had been doing. You see more combination of cameras and so on and so forth. So I wanted to bring on my partner and let her introduce herself, and I will stop chatting and how about a little quickie background?
Sure. So my name is Paprika. People call me Pepper most of the time. Dylan and I have been walking alongside each other for arguably 19 years at this point. We don't have a firm anniversary because we've just been committed for so long without getting an official ceremony, but it is what it is. United front and lots of mutual growth and change over the years has kept us young and frisky and full of fun. I was a landscape designer once upon a time, and that's how we got to know each other. We started doing landscapes together, design and installation. That was a success, but we're serial entrepreneurs and we're always on the quest for the next exciting adventure. We did tiny houses together. We did a little RC shop where Dylan first began as an expert pilot, helping people learn how to fly RC craft and fix their broken issues and find parts that you couldn't get elsewhere. I helped him market that. I studied marketing at school, and then I decided to pursue a degree in psychology when the kids got a little bit older. And that's where I'm at right now. I discovered when Dylan began to get more deeply into photography and video that I love editing. I love editing video. I love turning all of the beautiful images he makes into something more than just a vacation slideshow nobody wants to see. I want to make them useful to people and fun and beautiful. And it really brings us together in a lot of the things that we enjoy very much, the things that are necessary, like nature time and exploration and I don't know, meeting new people and using our skills to make things kind of perfectly crafted.
Yeah, I think it's gonna work really well. I'm glad it just kind of fell into place too. That I naturally kind of gravitate towards the flying and the cameras in general, and you kind of gravitate towards the story and the editing, which is perfect because I would, as you have seen, the viewer, I've done some good edits. I've timed some music, done some remapping and whatever. You've seen me do some tracking with After Effects to add artificial fires that don't even exist in real life. I love all that stuff, but now this is going to give me a chance. Hey, Kevin, what's up? We're just chatting about dispersed camping. I'm introducing you to my wife, Paprika, who's now going to be helping me do my edits. Anyway, you, Paprika, have a much better patience with the curves of the audio and the remapping, and that is tremendous because that can leave me with a lot more time to study on because I am Part 107 certified. So the drone flights you do see that we are using, they are legal flights. Allows me to stay up with the laws, the rules, the regulations, the techniques for flying the drones, the different gadgets that we attach to the drones. Those are all things that I can focus on. But the storyline, I got to admit, I've had kind of an issue with, and I mean, I've still gotten you as a viewer, so I got to have done something right. I don't feel that bad. But so let's see here. So out of all the places we've been to, what's your favorite spot that we visited so far in the last, say, year and a half?
Oh, I think it's got to be the place that's labeled with the sign says Simpson Camp, the place that we ourselves have called Heidi Meadow. It's in the area just off FH7 past the Mendocino Pass. I love camping in that spot. It feels like magic to me. There's tall grass and lush plants, and the land just opens up. The edge of the forest is visible all the way up the hillside, and it feels like kind of a a different world, like almost a Swiss meadow. That's why we started calling it Heidi Meadow.
Yeah, so I think it's called Heidi Camp on the pins. So if you have the map, you can look up Heidi Meadow and you'll know exactly the location. And then there's, I think, 1 or 2 video links within the description so you can actually see it for yourself. So what about campgrounds? We've been to a few of them. Pick one. I mean, you exclude, how would I say this? Doesn't matter whether we stayed at it or not. What one's your favorite?
Atchison is the one that I would most like to stay at that we haven't stayed at yet. It's an actual campground with a vault toilet. That seems like it'd be a very nice place at the right time of the year. It's got a nice view off a gentle hill there. It's not too far from Keller Lake. And it's got enough different picnic table spots spaced out that on the rare event that somebody was there, it seems like you could have a good chance of camping on the opposite side of it and not feeling too crowded.
Yeah, you do have a fair bit of room there. The benches are all right, and yes, there is one vault toilet, and then you are right on a creek. I don't know what creek name it is. We could look it up, and it's Atchison Campground. You look it up on Google. It's not Go ahead.
I think it must flow into Keller Lake, I imagine.
Yeah, it very well might. It's pretty close to it. It's been a while since I looked at the map. I'm not sure where it goes down to. But there is a creek. So earlier in the year, it's got a great sound in the background that you can listen to. I love the sound of a small river. It can be a little overwhelming, but I like a nice mellow one. There's definitely that there. If you came in from the western, because you can get there on 22 and 11 from both directions, because that basically goes around the mountain top so it goes from FH7 around the mountain top and then back up to FH7. And if you come in from the western end of that, the road's actually pretty tame. You probably could get a car in there relatively easily. If you came in from the eastern side, you'd probably have a bit of an issue, or at least it would be a very slow drive because there'd be a lot of rocks you'd want to watch out for. So we covered those ones. So I know other people are going to ask this, so I'm going to just ask it for them. Do you ride OHV?
I love to drive off-road, but on 4 wheels, in cars, in trucks. I haven't done any of the dirt motorcycles or quads or anything like that. I rode a quad once, like for a few hours, 2 different days during one camping trip. So I think that seems really fun. I'd like to do those kind of things more, but yeah, we have trucks and we have the Subaru, and I love driving off-road with the Subaru especially.
That was going to be one of my questions, was which car out of the 2 do you prefer to drive? Because me, it's the truck. I think everybody knows that. If I could drive either vehicle, money wasn't an issue, because it is. The truck, for sure.
I love the Subaru. I feel light and nimble in it, and I love the feeling of being able to go faster on rough terrain without feeling like any sense of insecurity. There's no sense that anything's going to break loose or I'm going to be out of control. I can just get speed and grip for days and days. I love it.
Okay, so as a lot of you know, I do ride OHV. We have an 03 Yamaha WR250F. That's a whole lot of letters and numbers to get straight. And so I do ride when I get the chance. I'm a 2-wheel guy, not a 4-wheel guy. So given the chance, I will choose to be on the dirt bike than on a quad or in a truck or anything else. I just feel comfortable there, and it's what works for me. So maybe we should real quick. Let's give them another. Let me play the one we put up today. So today we put up our first behind-the-scenes edit on Patreon, which we made this one public so that people get an idea of what we're going to try and strive for. So we can share that one with you because that one is a public post. So let me see if I can find.
And I've actually seen this one.
Yeah, you've seen this one. Well, now what's this one called again? Because it's going to show up in the recent stuff.
Insider #1.
No, it didn't show up.
Oh.
Oh, Insider #1. Here it is. Oh.
Yes.
Pause. But I didn't do screen share today.
Let's
see here. We're going to do share screen.
It's funny. One of the distinct aspects of editing video is how you hear the certain sounds in a video hundreds of times because you work on a certain edit. So then they just stick in your brain. Okay, go.
You ready?
Mhm.
Let me know about the audio because we're not playing it. Anyway, let me know if it's too loud or too quiet.
Yes. Counting. And yeah, because
If it doesn't, if it's gonna work. Anyway, yeah, here's our little dolly truck that we used with 30-pound braided tests and then theory. How about we go through where there's less stuff for snakes to hide in? We're trying to use this to get a zip line shot down this fishing line, but upright too, through the trees. Let's see if we can pull it off. And of course, the audio is better when you play it on your device directly, but. Now, am I going to go high so it goes the whole way?
Yeah, it's behind it. So, here it is.
It's probably going to bounce. Hold on. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to try and keep it tight, but I'm going to try and keep it down.
okay.
You want to start over here?
Okay. You already saw it hit that log. Okay. All the way across?
That was perfect. It actually went down as we got closer to the end. Not those little can dollies and everything worked. Nice and smooth almost all the way to the end. It stopped about a foot away. I love the guitar string sound the fishing line makes. Pretty sure I'm centered for doing slider. We put this on a 30-pound test fishing line and then ran it through the straw. We used the cups to keep the camera upright, and then we sent it through the trees kind of like this, upright. Can't wait to see what that turns out like. But now we're going to fly over a meadow, or have it fly over a meadow with the camera facing down. More like this facing forward. So, well, let's see what happens. Yep. I love the predictable path. 100% every time it goes right where you tell it. It's not like a drone.
I can't see it from here, but I sure can see you. You're gonna duck, right? Okay.
There's a very distinct hay trail right here. We could do that second, right? Very distinct, right through here.
Perfect. That sounds good.
Over the water.
Looks so nice when it's slowed down. There's the water. That bear was about the size of smaller when you and I saw.
Uh-huh. I saw it just crash up. Right! Crash up into the hillside there.
Okay, so now I got to figure out our trajectory. like the camera. Oh, it's already recording. Okay, so here's the other thing. Do we want to do HD in a higher frame rate or 60 in that?
It wasn't that hard to knock it out. Easier than that
Go
hillside.
about 20 feet down.
Okay.
I'm going to slide it. See how fast it gets going. Right there's fine. Let go.
Yeah,
It's gonna go quick, but whatever.
yeah.
Okay. Just put a glove on. Oh, they're up here. Stop the recording, otherwise you're gonna have to scrub through it.
Yeah.
So as you can see, we are now adding some, oops, stop sharing, adding some credits to the end. I have no idea where she went. So maybe we should come back on. At any rate, I think that adds a whole lot more depth to the videos we're going to be showing. I basically just handed her hours and hours of footage and said, here you go. And she crunched the numbers and did all the stuff and used some of the audio from one camera for the audio on the other camera to make it spruced up, but used the video from another one. And it's quite a leap, and I can't wait to start sharing what we've got with you guys. We did a video of our camp, so like the stuff we bring and our camp set up. And this time we actually did somewhat of a script to it, as opposed to just, I usually do an impromptu thing, like the helicopter, the Coronacopter one. That was just I grabbed a camera and just started recording and made something. So it's going to be nice to have stuff that's a lot more designed. You need to add your camera. Turn on your camera. There we go. There you go. Your camera was off, so we couldn't see. And hopefully it's going to start sharing at some point here. At any rate, I can't wait. If you want, oh, by the way, I'll put a link to that video in full HD in the description as soon as we're done, so that you all can check that out. Darren, I noticed that you wrote that you're a three-wheel guy. Those look awesome. I'd love to try one sometime, but I got to admit they look dangerous as that, stuff. I can drift quads all day long, no problem, and not flip them over. But I'm worried if I got on a three-wheeler, I'd just roll the thing over. So, and considering I've had fingers put back on, broken both arms, jaw, toes, fingers, and those were on bicycles. So I don't know that I need to be jumping on three-wheelers. So why are you not? And then she's gone again. I don't know what's going on. I've been getting a lot of questions about camping near water. I'm doing my best to do some research, see what I can find. I haven't been to Eel River by the M6, so I don't know how much water is in there, but I was there last August, and there was some water there. They are as dangerous as they look, X-Country Adventures says. I can only imagine, because I've never ridden one. Forgive me as I reach across, get this cup here. Little sippy sip. Lost my train of thought. Oh, also we're FH7 and M1. There's a lot of, I was there, let's see, beginning of July, and there was a ton of water still there. I haven't been there because the last two times we've been up, we went up I-5 and then east or west on 162 and FH7. So I didn't go by that area. But when we were by there in early July, there was a lot of water. So I don't know how fast it goes down, but that would be another suggestion, is check out the Eel River down in that section. The M1 going north would be a good choice. Going south, it's all uphill and goes away from the river. Don't forget, we've also got some awesome lakes. Off the top of my head, Howard Lake off the M1 by Little Doe Campground. You're allowed to swim in there. It's plenty big enough that there's plenty of room for all the fishermen, and there's plenty of room for people to fish. You go, I believe it's on the north end. I could find out if you really were curious. There's a gravel area, the uphill side, if you will, where the water comes down, enters that whole area. Hey, Spitz, SCN, welcome to the show. So that's a great place you can go swimming. Also, if you go further along the M1, there's some other M is in Mike roads that shoot off into other lakes and streams, or lakes, sorry. You can stay at. They're fantastic up in there. I personally never fished them, so I don't know how successful they are, but I know they're beautiful. There's a whole bunch of them. See, and then cruising along M3, I've seen some on Google Earth. And if you can see it from Google Earth, then it should still be there. Granted, I don't know how to check what. Hey, Dylan, glad you could jump in. Lost my train of thought again. Any more practice at this? Off of the M3, I found some sections by just cruising Google Earth. I found some sections of water in there, and they look like they're fair. The grass is all dry and dead, so I can only imagine that it's got to be at least midsummer, if not late summer. Devander says, like any vehicle, you learn how to ride, do's and don'ts and whatnot. I ride 2 wheels, but I keep it really mellow in comparison to the 3 or 4 wheelers. So are you saying that you'll do wheeling in a 3 or 4 wheeler, but you won't in a dirt bike? Just for clarity. I won't do a wheelie in either one of them. So I'm about the slow technical stuff. You take me along creek rides and traversing stuff. That's me all day long. Jumping tabletops and getting 60 feet of air. No, not going there. I've done enough damage on bicycles. I don't need to be doing that stuff on motorbikes. So I'm doing some research to see what else I can find for water, reaching out to people, and we'll do some videos on those. But again, don't forget, we do have a lot of lakes that are out there to go check out. I don't have a final date yet, but within the next few weeks, very soon, I want to go to that plane crash, the B-17. That's on the western side of the Mendocino National Forest. We would do a meetup at FH7M1. Each household will take their own car, and then we would socially distance. But that would be your chance to be in one of our videos. Come meet and greet, and let's go find something, because all I really have is a website with some rough coordinates, and then head that direction for 2 to 3 miles. So I've never physically set foot there. I have so far been unable to find. Right on. Thanks for throwing out the website. We'll check that out in a little bit. I've yet to go there. I'd love to see it. I've seen some images, and I love exploring and trying new stuff. And while there, why not film a vlog and give some of you a chance to come see what I do for a day? Just go somewhere and check it out. I'm going to be only going for the day. I'm going to be driving our Subaru, so I won't be driving anything huge with a ton of gear. Well, a lot of cameras. Sorry. But yeah, again, if you want to be in, some drone shots or whatnot, that's the best time to come out. If you want to stay in the loop, if you will, for lack of any other phrase, the best place is Patreon. For right now, it's the best means I have to get the word out, share the word without having to monitor too many different media sources. And also, I am promoting the Patreon because I do want to make the next leap up with cameras. And now, basically, Pepper she's basically got a full-time job of editing now. The videos she's been working on, she just finished a really big project. That the overall video was an hour with 7 cameras and 4 audio devices, so it took her a long time, but now she's back on full-time and basically has been a full-time job. She works Saturday and Sunday all day building these videos, so I'm really looking forward to it. But in an effort to try and offset some of that time that she's spending, we are asking if you can spare $1 or a couple of bucks, or if you want to buy the map pins, they're available for sale. Every little bit helps. We also we're throwing names and credits, and then, like I said in the beginning of the live stream, give you a shout out. Just like Overland Trail Guides, he is also a patron. So is in its infancy. I need to put together an edit through the Shasta journey. I did watch that, so that is you. I did watch that, and that was really good. I would love to watch more. I would totally watch more. If you haven't been to his channel, go check it out. Like I said, it's only got one video, but the one video I did see was pretty cool. Out of curiosity, do you what drone do you fly, and are you Part 107 certified? I don't think you're actually making money off your drone flights, so I don't think that really matters. But again, I'd be curious, especially what drone you fly. We fly the Mavic 2 Pro, the Mavic 2 Zoom, and the Enterprise. An interesting thing I learned about the Mavic 2 when we were camping on the group trip beginning of July, the Zoom was extremely handy when I was doing the downward angle shots flying over the road, because I was able to get the drone to a known safe height from the obstacles like trees, and then I was able to optically zoom in to make it seem like I was right on the treetops. That was tremendously helpful because I could focus on the flight and the flight path and not have to even think about the treetops. Whereas with the Mavic 2 Pro, I would definitely have to think about crashing, because I don't have the ability to optically zoom. Granted, I have 4K, but 1080 is still plenty good anyway. So my 2 cents between the two. I hear the Mavic 3 is coming out very soon, so I would probably hold off on buying either one. But depending on what you're doing, the Zoom does have some advantages when it comes to that. Like I said, one example is looking down. I can zoom in and look like I'm closer and not have to worry that whole time about, am I going to crash? Can my visual observer actually see the height between the treetops and not? I mean, typically they're watching out for obstacles, but they're mainly looking out for other aircraft. So they might not see that treetop, and it's all over when you hit it at 40 miles an hour. So, yeah. So again, I hate to push it too hard, but we are asking for a little bit of help because we do want to kick our stuff up as many notches as possible. There's already a ton of content up on Patreon. There's videos going up constantly, pictures and whatnot. So with that all said, unless y'all got something else to say, trail guides, we have a meeting set up. And then, before I forget, I'm going on X Country Adventures the Thursday. I think it's at 5. So if you haven't checked out X Country Adventures channel, go on there, check it out. If you like it, subscribe, and I'll be on there. And then I'm planning on doing a live stream after here also. So if you have any questions, save them for then, throw them up in the chat, go over them. I don't currently have a topic, but we always come up with something, right? So without anything else to say, I guess I'm going to call it and say it's been nice seeing y'all. I'll put that link in the description so you can see the higher quality version of that video. And I'll look forward to seeing you all here on YouTube still. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just adding to it. See you out there and also in the forest too. If you're going out, send me a message. Let's hook up. Let's go out. I almost forgot. Peter and I just went out, what was it, last Thursday, I think it was, and we went from Cow Mountain spontaneously over to Lakeport. He just happened to call me at just the right time to be available, and we headed out. So that was a cool time. I'd hope to show some of your videos, Peter, if you were watching. I'd hope to try and show that, especially the landing. That was a cool shot you got of me. So again, thank you. Check me out on Facebook, Instagram, 500px. I'm all over the place. With that said, have a good evening. Stay safe, stay healthy, and don't forget, dispersed camping is safer camping. Cheers.